Hello, everyone. I am your host, MeleeWizard, and this is going to be a little bit awkward because, unbeknownst to me at the time, a recent Windows update caused the sound settings in OBS to get messed up again. And as such, when I recorded this video, there was no audio. And I didn't realize that until after the fact. So, I am playing this at double speed from my perspective and just, talking over it with basically the main menu just going on in the background just so you're just not listening to my voice. Anyway, as you can see from the map, I did re-explore that one area that had the huge pillars of bone skeletons. I ended up getting the soul for that about 4 times over, and there's one for this devil as well. The devil one is interesting. It's a buff to strength, but it also is like a debuff to everything else. So you probably won't see me use it too much. Also, the number puzzle, I did end up solving the number puzzle for, in quotes, I guess. Solving it didn't really accomplish much by itself, but the layout of it under that configuration basically means you can go through that room to get to anywhere else. So it's a nice little it's a nice pathway that was opened up to get from one place to another. So here we're exploring through the playroom, or whatever this place was called again. And just taking out all the enemies that I come across, trying to get all the spots on the map on the first go. And yeah, these, like the clowns, basically the bouncing skeleton, that thing is kind of annoying in this room. Especially if you don't really know what direction it's going in. And we get some more news, which I really have not been reading at all. And I see my health is starting to look kind of bad, but I want to say I'm pretty sure I survive it. And there we have Magic Seal number 3. The big thing to be had in this area. At least giving myself a little bit of practice, which things went well there. It went well there. And let's just leave it at that. You'll see what I mean later. And there we have ourselves a happy little boss. And this is where I kind of see how strong the devil is. So you see, it's a pretty good attack buff, but it's also a defense debuff, and I don't really care for it too much. And here we have this puppeteer thing. So it does take me a little while to figure out what the heck's going on. As you see, when he places the puppet thing inside the Iron Maiden, it switches places with me and does a whole lot of damage. At some point, I figure out that if you destroy the puppet before it gets into it, you're safe. And from what I can tell, either it just requires 2 hits outright, or the thing has like 60 health exactly, which is just enough for the axe to not be able to one-shot it. So and yeah, even with the Mandragora not being able to one-shot it, I think the mandatory 2-shot might be lends credence to that. But see, I'm coming up with the idea of just focusing on making sure the puppets don't get into the Iron Maiden and doing damage to the main body when I have a spare moment. And while it's kind of a slow process, when he spits out the the flying dolls, that's definitely a good spot to just throw out a Mandragora, because it does a lot of damage to everything. Alright, and... Oof, okay, got that on the first try, and all is well. And there we get the Puppet Master Souls. Throw a puppet and switch places with it, which is the main point of progression here at the moment. Since there was a couple spots where my first thought was getting through some of those little pathways that we'll see the primary one. We'll be going through it a bit. I thought maybe I have to transform into a bat or something to get through that, but that way works too. So, yeah, just go ahead and switch over to the Garden of Bannis, because there was one more, there was one other boss door that I had remembered seeing that I couldn't get into before. So I figured I would test it to see if the third seal was enough, but it's not. And here I will cut away to the right side of the area, which is pretty much where I need it to be. And we got the power belt, which... bit of attack, lose a bit of defense, meh. Always good to save. I apologize if I'm being... I wish I didn't have to go about this way, but it's either this or just upload the video with no audio whatsoever. And I figured this would be the lesser of the two evils here. And especially since I didn't have a backup save. So we're into this new area, which looks to be a rather wide open area with a whole bunch of stuff that I can't get to with the abilities I currently have. Another newspaper. Yeah, now just exploring this big wide open area for the heck of it. And I thought, I remember it looked like there was something there on that right side, on that right wall. And as such, I feel like taking another stab at just at least seeing what it is. And while dealing with that, which I'd been hearing that thing clatter around from the moment I entered the room. And so now it's gone. And it turns out that's just, I think that was just a high potion, or some second tier restorative of some sort. And coming down here to the bottom, we see that that opens up that way, which opens things back up to previous areas. Always nice to have a shortcut. And so we enter the Condemned Tower. So I see there's an item there, but we can't get to that. And from here, I start to notice that in that last room there was a... well, before we get to that, we have this little cutscene with Julius. This happy little barrier of doom and destruction that we can't really do anything about right now. And, you know, Julius is brought up to speed in what I had been dealing with. And, yep, can't do anything else there. Anyway, as I climb up the tower, I notice that, according to the map, there's a way of going up and down through that middle part. And that makes me wonder how I would be able to do that, since, you know, you can't jump down through there, and you can't jump up through it either. At least I don't have the means of jumping up that high in the first place. Yeah, we were dealing with, and we got some... Interesting variant of the Yo-Yo Knights that I remember seeing from Aria of Sorrow. And big giant axe guy. Big giant axe guy. And it's an S-Stock, which is slightly weaker than the Halberd. I don't even show it off because it's a sword made for stabbing, which probably means it's short range, which to me apparently means no. Yeah, and was it the wear something or other kind of got stuck on that platform, which ended up being to my benefit. And it's enemies like this that make me glad that I have the axe that does a crap ton of damage, so I can just deal with this guy in like 2 hits. And that's a room that I can't get through. I have no idea what opens that up. And it's another newspaper. Another axe, and thankfully, just getting real close gets me inside his reach. And I got a tomahawk for it, which is interesting. And we see another boss. This boss! Oh my goodness, this boss is a thing. You see how much damage he's doing? Yeah, this big. I believe I said this during the actual recording. Big enemy in a small room. Yeah, this is something. I figured I'd try using the puppet to get past him, but no, that does not work. Or if it does, I'm not doing it right. And then I got eaten. Alright, so attempt number 3. At least I'm dealing a decent amount of damage, just outright, and yep, that's how you dodge the laser. And I believe I show it. Oh geez, oh that's phase 1. Try to get some more damage in, and then I get smushed. I learned from that one real quick. So at this point, I decide to experiment with opening the door and then saving, just so I don't have to go through that process again, but it doesn't work. Alright, so things are going well here so far. And this time I'm watching the map, and so I moved away just in time to not get hit when he hit the ground. And this is where my other problem starts, because yeah, that use of the seal didn't work, and then I died. Yeah, I get this whole seal thing because, you know, DS, touchscreen, all that, I get it. When trying to do it with the mouse, it doesn't really work that well, and now he's doing this chomping move instead of using the laser, which, when he's like right up against the wall, right on top of you, there's really no way to avoid it, I don't think. Oh boy, and I'm down to 6 health, but thankfully I do have some potions lying around. And I'm not sure how that one failed. It felt like it shouldn't have. And I'm a little surprised I dodged that one. And failed again. It's a good thing I have that slide. I think I had that by default. Yep. And nope, seal failed again. And I thought he was going to jump, but he did that poison move. And yeah, I just end things off there. I am sorely tempted to just heal. I'm sorely tempted to just do a save state next time those seal things show up, because that mechanic is starting to become annoying now. So, I guess join me next time when I succeed at that fight, and we'll see what I get for it. So, until then, this is MeleeWizard, and have a nice day.